Chapter 4 Practice Test. Let's read the problem. Hope works on 27 math problems on Monday, and she works on 14 math problems on Tuesday. How many math problems did she work on? Select all the number sentence that could be used to solve the problem. So first we want to know how many math problems did she work on? Now, what information is going to help us? Well, we know that she worked on 27 math problems on Monday, and she worked on 14 math problems on Tuesday. Now, it says right here that we want to know how many math problems she worked on. So that means all together. So I know that I'm going to have 27 right here on Monday, and then she did 14 more, so I'm going to add 14 more. So now it says, how many math problems did she work on? So this would be the number sentence I use to find out the answer. Now they're not asking me to find out, to actually work it out. They want me to select all the number sentence that could be used to solve the problem. So right here on the first one, it says 14 plus 7. Well, 27 plus 14 is basically the same because remember, the order of the addends does not affect the sum. So if I decide to add 14 first, it's okay. And then 27 next, it's okay because I'm still going to get the same answer. So because we know that the order of the addends does not affect the sum. So I could basically have both of these right here. So because this is 14 plus 27, I know that, yes, I can use this one to solve the problem. Then it says 32 take away 14. Well, I don't even have 32 in my number sentence. And it's not a subtraction because they only give me the information about Monday and Tuesday and how much, problems she worked on. And then they want me to know how many she worked on altogether. So that would not be a good choice. So that would be a no. That's 2 points right there, guys. Then 27 take away 14. Well, that's not even, I have the 27 here. And then take away the 14. I have the 14 here. But it says, how many problems did she work on? Well, she worked on the 27 problems on Monday. And she also worked on 14 problems on Tuesday. So it's not going to be take away. So that's going to be a no. Now the last one, remember, the order of the addends does not affect the sum. So 27 plus 14 is the first one that we got to begin with. So that would be a yes. And for each choice, either yes or no, if they're the correct answer, you get 1 point for each, which is 4 points for this problem. Okay, now the next one is Joseph plays basketball. Last week, he scored 25 points. This week, he scored some more points. Altogether, he scored 43 points. Which equation? Now, what is the word equation? Well, it says, which equation could you use? So you already know that equation will be the same as a number sentence. So which equation will you use to find how many points he scored this week? So I need to know which of these I'm going to use. Well, let's see. Which equation could you use to find out how many points he scored this week? So that's my question. Now, what information do I know? Well, I know that last week he scored 27 points. So he scored 25 points last week. And then it says this week he scored some more points. More points. So more means to add. Now it says more points, but it doesn't tell me how many more. So I'm going to put a square because I do not know how many more points. Altogether, he scored 43. All together means that when we add them, it's going to be 43 points. So I'm going to equal sign because that's the all together, and then 43 points. Okay, so now it's not asking me to solve the problem. It's only asking me to see which equation or which number sentence could I use to solve the problem. So right here, I have 25 plus 23. Well, it cannot be 25 plus 43 because this is the all together. So that would be the equal sign. So A is not a good choice. So that's not a good choice. Now we have 43, take away 25. Well, as we see here, it doesn't match my number sentence, so I'm not going to choose it. Now I have 43 plus equals 25. Well, altogether, what's 43? So this equation cannot be the correct answer. Now, in the last choice, we have blank plus 25 equals 43. Well, remember, guys, the order of the addends does not affect the sum. So these two right here, this one right here and this one right here are the addends. So could I change them and have a blank plus 25 equals, or altogether is 43? Because remember, in facts family, we can change those numbers and it's part of the facts family. As long as the addends are here, we can change the order. So now I know that D is my best choice. Mrs. Han counts 39 houses that have Christmas lights in her neighborhood. She counts 51 houses that have Christmas lights in Mrs. Sutherland's neighborhood. How many houses with Christmas lights did Mrs. Han count? So let's look at our question. It wants me to find out how many houses with Christmas lights did Mrs. Han count? Well, let's look at our information. It says that Mrs. Han counted 39 houses at her neighborhood. And then it says that she also counted 51 houses in Mrs. Sutherland's house neighborhood. So now we have 39 in her neighborhood, but she also counted 51 at Mrs. Sutherland's neighborhood. So I want to know how many in all, so I'm going to put them all together. So I'm going to add. So now you can use whatever strategy you want to use. This time I'm going to use the expanded form. So I'm going to have 39, and I can go 30 plus 9, and then I have 51, and that I can break it up with 50 plus 1, and then I add my tens, and I know that 50 plus 30 is going to be 80, plus, and then we have 9 plus 1 equals 10. So I know that 80 plus 10 more, it will be 90. And that's what I'm going to type here. Which word problem could be solved using this number sentence? So now we have 25 plus 32 equals 57. So I have to figure out which of these would I use using this number sentence. So I'm going to look at the first one. Adam collected 57 pennies in his first week and 25 pennies in the second week. How many more pennies did he collect in the first week than the second week? Now, right here, it's asking me how many more. When I hear the word how many more, then it's asking me right there to subtract. So I'm going to subtract. Now, in the first week, he collected 57. So I'm going to, when I have subtraction, I put the greatest number first. And then in the second week, he collected 25. And I want to know how many more he collected. So that means I'm going to subtract. Now I look at my number sentence and that doesn't match this one. So the first choice is not a good choice. Then on the second choice says Mrs. Sanders has 2 fish tanks. Okay. There are 25 fish tanks in the small, there's 25 fish in the small tank. There are 32 fish in the larger tank. How many fish are in the 2 tanks? So I want to know how many fish are in the 2 tanks. That means that I'm going to put them together. Now I'm going to see the information. I have 25 in the first small tank, and there's 32 in the bigger tank. So I'm going to have 25 plus, because I want to know how many are in both tanks, 32. Equals, and I could probably do the math. I have 2 tens here and I have 3 tens here. That makes it 5 tens. And then 5 ones and 2 ones, that's 7 ones. So that would be 57. And I said, that sounds like a good deal. So I'm going to pick this one up, but I'm going to check the next one just in case. Mr. Stevens wants to put 32 books on the shelf. He puts 25 books on the shelf. How many more books does he need to put on the shelf? Remember, how many more? How many more? That means we need to subtract. So we have 32. And then we have take away 25. How many more? When we hear the words how many more than, or how many more, it means subtraction, which means that it doesn't match our number sentence, because this would be way less than 57, and it's not an addition. So B was our best choice. Now we have number 5. 3 second grade classes are making Valentine cards. Mrs. Bagley's class makes 24 cards. Miss Davalos, that's me. Miss Davalos' class makes 18 cards, and Mr. Krebs' class makes 20 cards. How many Valentine cards from all 3 classes? How many Valentine cards from all 3 classes make in all? So I want to know in all of all 3 classes. So I have 24 in Mrs. Bagley. So I want to know how many in all. 18 in Miss Davalos and 20 in Mr. Krebs. So I need to know that it's 24, and then I need to add Miss Davalos' class, which is 18. And then I need to add also Mr. Krebs. Now, because I have more than 2 add-ins, I'm gonna do the first 2. That means the 20, I'll do this 24 and 18. Now I'm gonna use a picture this time. So I have in number 24, I have 2 tens and 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And draw my line. Then I have 1 10 and 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, this is the first step, because I'm going to have another step when I add the 20. So on my first step, I have to look at my numbers. I have 24, and then I have 18. And I'm going to ask my $1 million question, which is, can I make a 10? Well, I see that on the 18th, I have 8 ones, so I need 2 more, and I can grab them from the top. I'm going to grab 2 from here, move them to make a 10. So then I can box it, cross it, and regroup it. Okay, so now I'm going to write TO. I have 4 tens. Just remember, I added 1 more and I have to count them all, 4 tens. And then I have 2 ones. So now I have 42. Now, is that my answer? No. So now I have to add 20. So let's do now, I can do expanded form now. 42. I'm going to bring this number, my first step, and then now I have to do plus 20. Because this is a 2-step. So I'm going to do this is number 1. And this will be number 2. My second step. So now I have 42, so I'm gonna do expanded form for this one. 40 plus 2 and then 20 plus 0, because we don't have nothing in the ones place. And now I add my tens, and 40 plus 20 is 60. And then I add my ones, and 2 plus 0 is 2. So the answer is 62. And because this is the second step, because I only had 2 steps, I know that I'm done. So I know that I look at my numbers, my answers, and I know that B is the correct answer. Okay, so now we're doing the next question. Mrs. Norton bought 69 pieces of candy for the party. Okay, so in bag A, we have 22. In bag B, we have 24. In bag C, we have 45. Now it says, which 2 bags of candy can she buy? So I have to pick the answer that if I pick the bags, those would be the ones that I need. So in bag A, which is right here, it says 22, and in bag C, it says 45. So I can do on my whiteboard, I can do 22 and then 45. And then I can work it out and check it. I mean, it's okay to check each and every one so that I can see if my answer is correct. So I'm doing expanded form to find out if the first choice is the correct answer. Because I looked at bag A, it's 22 pieces, bag C was 45. So 40 plus 20 is 60. And then 5 plus 2 is 7. And that would be 67. But I want 69. So C is not a good choice. So I need to erase. And I know C is not a good choice. So now I wanted to move this a little bit. Okay, so now my next choice is B. B says bag B, which is this one right here, and then bag C, which is right here. So now I have 24, and you can do any strategy you want. I'm going to do a picture on this one. 24, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Any strategy will work. Then I'm going to have 45. 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then I'm going to put TO, and then I'm going to ask myself if I can make a 10. I have 5 here and I have 4 here, so no, I cannot. So now I look at how many 10s I have. So I have 6 10s, and I have 5 plus 4 is 9, and that's 69. And that's what I needed, 69 pieces of candy. So this one would be a good choice. Now, am I done? Probably not. I want to see A and B. Now in A, I can see that I have 2 10s and 2 1s. And in B, I have 2 10s and 4 1s. So I know 2 10s and 2 10s is 40. And then 2 plus 4 is 6. So it's 46. So I know C is not a good choice. Okay, question number 7. Mr. Foley likes to collect things. He collected 28 coins from different countries. He also collected 53 action figures. How many things did Mr. Foley collect? So this is the question they're asking me to solve. How many things did Mr. Foley collect? So, well, I know that he likes to collect things, and one of the things he collects is coins. So I know that the coins information is going to help me. So he collects 28 coins. And then he also collected 53 action figures. 53 action figures. And I want to know how many things he collected, so I'm going to put them together because I want to know how many things he collected. So now I'm going to do a number line because you can use whatever strategy you want. If you want to use a picture, that's fine. If you want to use expanded form, that's fine. A number line will work here. So I'm going to start with my greatest number, which is 53. 53. So now I see that in number 28, I have 2 10s. So I'm going to do 2 hops, each of 10. So I know that 53 plus 10 more will be 63. 63 plus 10 more would be 73. Now I know that in 73, now I did the tens, now I need to do the ones. In 73, I need 7 more to make the 80 because 3 plus 7 makes a 10. So I'm going to break apart the 8 into 7 and 1 so that I can hop one big hop with 7, which is 80. And then one more, 81. So my answer would be D. Okay, Alexandra baked 35 chocolate chip cookies, 26 peanut butter cookies, and 47 sugar cookies. How many cookies does she have? I want to know how many cookies does she have. So what information do I know? I know that she baked 38 chocolate chip cookies. 35. Sorry, 35. She also baked 26 peanut butter. So I'm going to add the 26. And then she also baked the 47 sugar cookies. So now I have 3 add-ins that I have to do. So you already know that it's going to be more than one step. So I'm going to do the first 2 numbers to begin. That will be my first step, and whatever answer I get, then I would add 47. So I'm going to do a picture for this one. 35. I'm going to put TO. That means how many 10s? And then 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I draw a line just to separate so that I don't mix the numbers. Then I have TO again. I'm going to add 2 more 10s and 6 ones. 2 tens and 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now my question is, can I make a 10? And of course I can, because I have 5 here, and then I have 5, and then one more. So I'm gonna move all these up to the first one, to 35. And I'm gonna box it, cross it, and regroup it. Then I have to look at all the tens. How many tens do I have in all? Including the one that I regrouped. So now I have 4 and 2 more, that's 6. And how many ones? Only 1. Now that was my first step. I'm not done. Now I have to do the 47. So I'm gonna do expanded form for this one. 61, and then I'm gonna put 47. So 60 plus 1, and then 40 plus 7. Now 60 plus 40 makes 100. And then 1 plus 7 makes 8. So I know that in the number 100 plus 8 will be 108, which is HTO. If I wanted to break this one apart, would be I have 100 and I have 0 tens. So I have 108, which is my letter B. Okay, so now we have Matthew has 24 yellow blocks and 18 red blocks. 4 friends tried to show Matthew how to find the number of blocks he has altogether. So these are the 4 friends: Mateo, Edmundo, Jesus, Jack. Now we're going to see which one makes sense. Now in the first one, it says that Matthew has 24 yellow blocks and 18 red blocks. And he wants to find out how many he has altogether. So I'm going to have 24 plus 18. Now Mateo says that he has 40 plus 80 plus 2 and plus 1. Now if you look at number 20, the number 24, we can get 20, and then we can get a 4. So I break them apart, and then we have a 10, and then I have an 8. So I don't see 80 or 40. I mean, it's not even going to make 40, because I have 20 plus 10 more will be 30. So this would not be a good choice. Mateo is incorrect. Then I look at Edmundo. Based on my numbers, I have 2 tens and then 4 tens. Well, I have 2 tens here. That makes sense. But I have only 1 10. And then what about the ones? So Edmundo does not make sense. So that's incorrect. Then I go to Jesus, and I have 2 tens or 20, which is right here. Then I have a 10, which you could see over here. Makes sense. Then I have 4 ones, which is right here. And then I have 8 ones, which is right here. So that makes a sense. So Jesus is a good choice. I'm going to circle Jesus. Now I'm not done. I have to look at Jack, because he says 2 friends, right? Or maybe even one of the friends. I don't know. So now it says 2 tens. Well, 2 tens, 10, 20 is the same as 20. So this one could be right here. Then 110, remember, 110 is the same as 10. So that's correct. 4 ones would be right here, 4 ones. And then 8 ones would be right here, 8 ones. So Jack is also correct. So is Jesus and Jack. So now I go and find Jesus and Jack, which is right here, letter B. Question number 10 and last. Joseph has 16 toy cars. His mom bought him 3 more. Which equation shows the correct strategy for finding the total number of toy cars? Well, we know that the first part, if you see it, it's always the same. And it says equal. They all have the equal sign. That means that this side equals this side. Now we're looking for a strategy. Remember how we break apart? For example, I have 16. And can I break apart this one with 10 and 6 plus 6? Absolutely. And then can I add 3 more? Or the 3 more that are in the number sentence? Because we have 16 toy cars and he bought 3 more. Okay, so I can break apart the 16 with 10 plus 6 and then 3 more. So I go here, 16, take away 6. No, I don't want to take away. How about 13, take away 3 plus 6? Would that make sense? That's not a strategy that would be used. But how about 10 plus 6 plus 3? If you break apart the 16 into 10 and 6, that will make sense. So C is the best choice. And that's the end of this video. I hope you like it.